Hey, what's going on, everyone? Adaptations here, and today I want to talk about an issue that plagues many of us in RuneScape, and that is boredom and/or burnout. So, RuneScape is a game that many of us have played for years, and the game consists of some very long-term goals. The easiest example of this is maxing in the game or getting every skill to 99, which takes most people about 2,000 to 2,500 hours of in-game time. Being one of the players who have hit that goal and maxed last year, I get the same question a lot. How do you not get bored or burn out? And the answer, quite honestly, is that I do. As of recording this episode, I'm at 6,652 hours of in game time and have burnt out or gotten bored multiple times across the last 8 years of playing old school RuneScape. I've had my overall RuneScape account for, I believe, close to 15 years at this point. However, I created my old school RuneScape character back in 2013 when Old School was released. If you do the math, that means that on average I play about 2.27 hours a day. This number is also only so high because for the last year and a half I've been working from home and have been on my computer for an extra 8 hours a day, significantly dragging my average up. This takes me into my first tip, which is to try to find ways to increase your time in-game. Even 30 minutes could be huge for your account. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not saying that you should take more time away from your real life responsibilities or affairs, but if you're riding in the car with someone else driving, playing other video games, or whatever else, you might be able to AFK a skill in RuneScape. Woodcutting, fishing, mining, and cooking, etc. are all fairly easy. I'm sure you could find other examples. If you really wanted, you could also probably focus just strictly on money making so that you could do some of the buyables faster. When you go to leave, if you do have to drive, you can take your account to a fishing spot or to trees or something similar, and you can get an inventory and then your account will AFK out. If you're working from home or can pull out your phone every now and then, maybe you could AFK dart tips or cannonballs so that you're not distracted from work, but can get some small gains in occasionally on top of this. This doesn't sound like much, but remember, my account on average was only logged in for just over 2 hours per day. So an extra 12 minutes would have meant I would have maxed 10% faster and would mean that my almost 600 mil XP would have been gained 660 hours faster. But anyway, I think that's a pretty good segue into tip number 2. If you don't really feel like playing, then don't do anything tedious. Normally, when I don't feel like doing anything in game, I'll hop on Call of Duty or another game with friends. Maybe I'll go to YouTube and watch a bunch of personal finance videos. Or maybe I'll pull up some videos on how to increase my viewership on YouTube. But these are just examples, and normally I'll be doing something on RuneScape, on mobile, or on my other screen. Currently, the task I'm focusing on is Redwoods, because I'm trying to get this dang beaver pet. Currently at 33 million XP and still no sign of him. I also recently bought a new camera, and so my girlfriend and I went to the park, decided to go for a walk and take pictures with the new camera. And I didn't pull my phone out or hop on at all because I wanted to enjoy the time together and wanted to try out some nature photography, which might become a new hobby of mine. There's nothing wrong with not playing multiple hours a day, and I think the no XP waste sentiment that we have is honestly really toxic for the community, and it makes a lot of more casual players not want to play at all because it makes them feel like that there's no way they'll ever progress in the game. I want to take a quick break here to just say that if you guys are enjoying the video or are getting value out of the video, then please hit the like button to help spread the video to more potential viewers and other people who might enjoy the content and be part of the community that we're building here. Speaking of which, I did decide to go ahead and start my own Discord channel, so I'll throw a link in the description to my Discord if you're interested. Feel free to join and ask any questions you may have and invite other people. I'd like to get a nice server going and maybe we can start our own clan for bossing and skilling when Jagex reworks the clan system. But for now, we'll go ahead and we'll get back to the tips. So tip number 3 is to do methods that you like. Who cares if it's slower or inefficient? I smith dart tips to 99 smithing and I ranged to 99 at wyverns because it was easier and more relaxed than doing blast furnace or chinning. I could easily smith dart tips for 8 hours a day at work on mobile, but if I only wanted to do blast furnace because it was efficient, I probably would have only been able to do like an hour or 2 tops per day. Blast furnace is just not a way that I enjoy training smithing. Many skills have alternative, non-efficient, but much more relaxed methods that I think opens the skills up to much more people. I'm thinking of doing a how I max video or something similar to talk about the order I maxed in and how I ended up doing it, and if I would do anything differently currently if I could. So if you'd like to see that video and how inefficiently I maxed, let me know in the comments and maybe we'll make that the video for next week. Tip 4 is you have to set small, attainable goals and use those goals to help you set more realistic mid-sized and longer goals of a month or so out. And then use your monthly goals to set realistic long-term goals of a year or more, or what you want your overall end game to be for your account. This is the tip that probably helped me the most. When you're playing and your only goal is maxing, and you realize how many quests you have to do and how many hundreds or even thousands of hours of skilling you have left to hit it, you're going to burn yourself out pretty quickly. You can play for weeks or months and see almost no progress at all. If you, however, set the goal of 250k XP per day, and you know that farming is going to get you 150k XP a day, then you know on days that you can play longer, you should do a slower skill like runecrafting, fishing, or mining. However, if you only plan on playing for an hour or two that day, maybe you should do your farm run and 30 minutes of Winter Todd, Combat Through Slayer, or Prayer, for example, as these are going to get you much faster XP rates. For context, the last year of maxing, my goal was 500,000 XP per day, or about 350,000 XP a day after the farm runs I was doing. So on weekends, I would do many hours of runecrafting or fishing, and then if I hadn't quite hit my goal for the last 30 minutes or so, I would get on and do a few Winter Todd games, train some herblore, thieving, or something similar. Something that's nice and quick to bang out the rest of the XP that I needed. The only reason I was able to consistently hit 500,000 XP a day was because of working from home, as I talked about earlier, so this goal may not be realistic for everyone. Tip 5 is if you're sick of playing on your account to the point where you can't even bother AFKing on your account, then maybe you should try out another account build. Maybe you can try an Iron Man, as having to gather the supplies yourself completely changes some of the training methods, and when I was doing it, made it feel like a new game. I was never more excited to do Winter Todd than when I was a fresh hardcore Iron Man, and every crate I opened was something really good for my account. I unfortunately caught a lag spike and died at Winter Todd at 94 firemaking, but I did carry on for a bit as a regular Iron Man for a few weeks, training thieving and fishing. But even though I died and then stopped playing on the Iron, it really revitalized my enjoyment for the game. When I went back to my main, I was having much more fun than when I was forcing myself to do skilling 99s just because I tried something different. I guess my ultimate overall message here is that at the end of the day, you have to treat the game like it's a game. You can't give up your lifetime with family or friends because of the game, but maxing is not easy like so many say, and you have to kind of go at your own speed, do what you enjoy, and don't care what other people think. The guys preaching efficiency, in my experience, typically don't have the amount of total XP or hours in the game that I do, because they burn out much quicker doing their methods. Another example of someone that you might know that does similar things to this is Rigondeaux. For those of you who don't know, he was a rank 6 player and is still currently rank 63 even though he hasn't played on his main account in months. I never saw him on stream doing anything he didn't enjoy. He did everything the relaxed, slower method because he enjoyed it and was able to play the game much longer, and I think in most examples when it comes to RuneScape, slow and steady really does win the race. I really hope you all enjoyed. My Twitter, Twitch, and Discord are all going to be in the description of this video. I'm thinking about going live on Twitch today. We are having some people over, so it depends on how long they're going to be here and how I feel afterwards. But if I do go live, hopefully you guys can come and keep me company. My girlfriend and my real-life friends tend to drop in, but sometimes they get distracted and stop responding because they're playing other video games, and it gets a bit lonely. So come keep me company. I hope to see you all either in stream or in my next video, and hopefully you can use these tips to not be as bored or burn out of RuneScape. Bye!